everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Introduction to Macroeconomics at Ozarka College. Today what I want to do is give you just kind of a short introduction to this course, and specifically I'm going to cover the course syllabus, or at least hit the high points of it with you today, and then also kind of show you the activities page in My Ozarka. Alright, so first thing is, when you first log in to My Ozarka, and click on the link for this particular course, this is the page you're going to see right here. It's going to just show information about this course. It'll have my picture on the left hand side as the instructor. Any due dates that are coming up will show under due dates. Of course, there's not, when I'm recording this video, the semester hasn't started yet, so you won't see anything until the first day of class. But on the first day of class, you will see some due dates here. And then under announcements at the bottom, that's where I will post messages to the class that are very important. Things like reminders of things that are coming up due, or just other information that I need to share with the entire class will show under announcements. So as during the semester, as you log into the course page, just be mindful of looking at the due dates and the announcements so that you're staying on track during the semester and being aware of the things that are important that are going on in the course at that time. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to show you today is the course syllabus. All right. So let's go ahead and click on the syllabus link, and you'll see there's several navigation links over here on the left-hand side of the page, and they're all in alphabetical order. And those are links that allow you to get to various parts of the course page in My Ozarka. Alright, so the first thing you're going to see when you click on the syllabus link is at the very top you're going to see information about this course, and then my information, my contact information, and so forth. And those of you that don't know me already, my name is Stephen Baltz. I teach business courses on the Mountain View campus. That's where my office is, and mostly also online mostly I teach online courses. So if you need to contact me during the course of the semester about something pertaining to this course, if you're here on the Mountain View campus, of course, if you want to, you can just come by and see me in person. I'll be glad to visit with you and answer any questions that you have. But for most of you, you're not close enough to the Mountain View campus to do that. And so the preferred method for contacting me about this course is using the course mail link over here on the left-hand side of the page, where all those navigation links are. Use course mail, because that way, when you ask your question, or you're just sending me information about that you need to make me aware of, I'll know when you send course mail. I'll know exactly what course it pertains to and who you are as a student, and that way I'll be able to get back to you very effectively and efficiently, and in a timely manner. If you send a message through my general Ozarka email, I may or may not know who's sending me the message, depending on what email you're using to send me the message, and then I'm not going to know what class it pertains to. So again, the preferred method for sending me a message about this particular course is using course mail over here on the left-hand side. So that way I'll be able to get back to you very quickly. And I'm really good about getting back to you in a very timely manner, usually within an hour or so. In some cases, if I'm really busy, it may be a couple hours, but usually it's going to be very, very quick response. So I think you'll like that as we go through the semester. Now, when you're sending me a course mail to ask a question or to share information that you need to share with me, be very specific. Especially if you're asking a question, be very specific about what you're having problems with, what you're not understanding, maybe page numbers, chapters, section numbers, something so that I can better understand what you're asking about, and more effectively, get a response back to you in a timely manner. If you're not real specific about what you're asking about, I may have to ask you, through another email, what you're specifically asking about. And we may have to go back and forth that way several times before I get a better understanding of what you're asking about. And so the more specific you can be with your questions, the better off we're all going to be, and the more timely I'm going to be able to get back to your answer your question that you have. Okay. All right. So just kind of read through that information there at the top of the syllabus there. Let me know if you have any questions. The next 3 items on the course syllabus, which are course description, rationale, and outcomes, those are all closely tied together. So to save some time today, I'm going to go over those all at one time. Basically, in this course, we're going to be learning about the basic economic problem of scarcity and how we make the decisions on how best to use our scarce resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. And that's basically what the basic economic problem is that we'll learn about very first thing in our textbook and in this course is the basic economic problem that creates the whole subject or course of economics is we have a basic problem of scarce resources. In other words, we have scarce resources that we have available to us, like our time is one of the main resources that we have. We have scarce resources, but we're trying to get as much goods and services from those scarce resources as we possibly can. And that creates an imbalance between what we have and what we want. And that creates a basic economic problem that forces all of us to make economic decisions about how to best use our scarce resources to satisfy as many of our unlimited wants as we can. Since we can't satisfy them all, we have to make decisions. Okay? And those economic decisions are what we'll learn about in this course. So economics in general is just a study of how people make those basic decisions on how to use their resources to satisfy as many of their wants as possible. Now, the thing that distinguishes macroeconomics from just general economics or microeconomics is that in macroeconomics, we're looking at the overall economy. We're looking at the things that the decisions that governments make and countries make as a whole for their economy. Okay? And so we're going to be looking at things like aggregate supply and demand. In other words, the overall supply and demand for the economy. Not just one market, not just for one product, but for all the products together. And we're going to be looking at things like business cycles and inflation and unemployment. A lot of the things that you hear about on the news, the economic news on a regular basis, these are things that we'll learn more about in this course. All right? Things like the money and banking system, fiscal and monetary policy of the governments, economic growth and international trade. Again, a lot of the things that you hear about on the news, especially the government's intervention into the economy through things like spending, government spending and taxation, inflation, unemployment, all the things that governments have to manage as a part of the economy. These are all things that we're going to be learning about in this course. Okay? And I'm really looking forward to teaching this course this semester. I've taught this course just about every semester for the 26 years I've been here at Ozarka. And I really enjoy it. Hopefully you will enjoy it as well. I think you will. And hopefully you'll get something out of it, which I think this course will definitely help you in other courses that you take later on during your time here at Ozarka. And so I think it really will benefit you. Okay? All right, so just let me know if you have questions about those first 3 main headings, the description, rationale, and outcomes. I kind of hit on the high points, but after you read through those, if you have questions, just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. The next item on the course syllabus is the textbook. Just make sure that when you go and purchase your textbook, whether it's at the college bookstore or somewhere else, you check this ISBN number and check the numbers. Just check the ISBN number and the edition number. That's what I was kind of trying to think about just a minute ago. The edition is 7th edition. That's why it has a little 7. This is what the textbook looks like right here. And the 7 next to the econ title just is the edition for the textbook. So make sure you're getting the correct textbook. The best way to do that is to take this ISBN number with you when you go to buy your textbook and verify that you're getting the correct textbook by checking the ISBN number. In addition to the textbook, you're also going to need a reliable internet connection. Since this is an online class, obviously you're going to need to have reliable access to the internet, either through your home computer or through, if you don't have that at home, if you don't have a reliable internet access at home, then you're going to have to use the computers on campus to do your work for this course. But either way, you've got to be able to do the work for this course, and the only way to do that is to have a reliable internet access. Okay? All right, so just let me know if you have questions about that. Methods of instruction, I'm just going to let you read through that. It's pretty well self-explanatory, so read through that. Let me know if you have questions. Now, probably the most important item on the course syllabus is this evaluation procedure section. And it is fairly long, but it is very detailed and very self-explanatory. So I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm just going to hit the high points of it here. Basically, your grade in this class is going to be comprised of 5 things. We're going to have assignments, discussions, chapter test, a midterm exam, and a final exam. Okay? And it shows next to each one of those, what percentage of your total grade each one of those is going to represent. And so just carefully read through this evaluation procedure section. Again, this is the most important section because this is how your grade's going to be determined in this class. So the more you know about it, and the more you're aware of how your grade's going to be determined, the better off you're going to be during as you take this course. Okay. So just kind of look through that and really try to understand it. If you have something that you don't understand on it, just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. Another item at the very bottom of the evaluation procedure section is the AI, or artificial intelligence use policy. This is something that I've just added this year, and it just explains that basically you can use AI to learn more about the concepts presented in the course, and just to kind of give you a better idea of what we're learning about in the course. But you don't want to rely on AI so much that you're having AI do your work for you. So make sure that when you submit something for this course, that it is your own words, that you're not using AI's words, okay, or some other source's words. Make sure that whatever information you get from AI or some other tool online, that you're taking that information and then putting it into your own words, okay? And it's pretty easy to tell whether you're doing your own work or whether you're relying on AI too much like that. So just be aware of that. And there are some penalties for not doing your own work. And it's a violation of the academic integrity policy, which I'll cover in just a minute, okay? So just be aware of that. The main thing is just do your own work, and then you'll be fine, okay? All right. Grading scale. That's just the standard grading scale that you see in most classes. I'm not going to go over that with you. Just read through it. Let me know if you have questions. Now, another important item on the course syllabus is the makeup policy. And I've explained the makeup policy here for each type of activity. So just carefully read through that. Let me know if you have questions about it. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. Attendance policy, just kind of read through that. Now, another very, very important item on the course syllabus that I definitely want you to carefully read through is academic integrity. This is something I hit on just a minute ago when I was talking about the use of AI. Basically, in this course, you want to make sure that everything that you turn in, that you submit for this class, that you are using your own words, okay? Don't just copy from a web page. Don't just copy from AI. Make sure that you're putting the information in your own words and actually, working through the activities yourself. Don't rely on any kind of online tool so much that you're not doing your own work, okay? And again, it's pretty easy to tell whether a student is submitting his own words or using somebody else's words, okay? Or the words from a web page or the words from AI. So just do your own work, use your own words, and then you won't have any problems with that, okay? All right. And then the last several sections on the course syllabus are just standard things that you're going to see in all your classes. So just read through those. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, this first week of class, one of the main things I want you to do is, again, carefully read through this course syllabus. I hit on the high points today, but you need to carefully read through those, especially those sections that I said were very, very important. Read through those and let me know if you have any questions at all, because this is basically kind of the roadmap and kind of the set of guidelines that we'll follow this semester, okay? So just be very careful and make sure that you're reading through that course syllabus. All right. Now, another thing that's very important that I want to talk to you about today is the activities page. So the activities link is the very first link on the left side of the page there. So let's click on activities. And on the activities page at the very top, you're going to see basically information about this course, but then you'll also see that the weeks of the semester are divided by the week number. So the very first week of the semester here is week 1. And so all the activities that are due for week 1 are listed under that week. And then it goes to week 2 and all the way down, all the way through the last week of the semester, which is week 17, where we'll do our final exam. Okay? So everything is divided by week. Now, this first week of the semester, we have two things here. We've got introduce yourself discussion. Let's go ahead and click on that. And that introduce yourself discussion is just a place where I have posted some information about myself, just to kind of give you a basic introduction to the class, where I introduce myself to the class and tell you a little bit more about myself. So I want you to read through that and then click on reply and reply with some information about yourself. Of course, your name, where you're from, maybe some information about the classes you're taking this semester, your course of study, in other words, your major, the degree that you're working on, basically, and maybe what you hope to get out of this class, maybe your hobbies and interests, just basic information that you want to share with the class. Also, if you go by a different name than what shows up on the course roster, then you can tell me that as well so that I know the name that you prefer for me to call you during this semester. And as you reply to this discussion, I will reply to you, and then I will put your points in for the discussion. Okay? Let's go back to activities here. So you'll notice for each activity, like for the introduce yourself activity that I just showed you, there's an open date and a close date. The close date is the date that particular activity is due. So you'll need to reply to that introduce yourself discussion by Friday, August 22nd, which is the Friday of the first week of class. Okay. Now, the other item under week 1 is the getting started link. And there's not anything to turn in for the getting started activity, but I do want you to click on it, and there are some links to some things I've already showed you, like the course syllabus. There's a link to the textbook textbook information. There's a link to the schedule, which shows all the the activities that you'll work on this semester. But basically, for this particular activity, you just need to look through these activities or look through these resources and let me know if you have any questions, especially the course syllabus, okay, which I've already kind of talked about. All right, now, so that first week, again, as far as what you're going to turn in, the only thing that you're going to actually submit for a grade will be the Introduce Yourself discussion item. All right, the first set of chapter activities from the textbook will be due the second week of class, specifically Wednesday, August 27th. You'll notice there's the close date. That's the due date for those activities. So you'll have the chapters 1 and 2 assignment, discussion, and test. And then there's also a case studies link, which is the case study for the discussion. All right. All of these activities, when you click on them, it'll give you the instructions for that activity. Just carefully follow those instructions. Again, if you have questions, let me know through course mail, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And that's really all I have for you for this first video. I just wanted to kind of give you just kind of a basic introduction to the class and introduce myself. But I'm really looking forward to this class, and I hopefully you're looking forward to it as well. And I think you'll really enjoy it as we go through the semester. There's some really good discussions that we have. So just enjoy your semester, and just let me know if you have any questions. And I'm really looking forward to it. So enjoy your semester, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you.